Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. As always, we're going to jump right into it. So as you can tell by the title, we are making crispy, crunchy chicken tenders. Now I will say that when it comes to finding chicken tenders in the store, I tend to find them sparingly, so maybe 1 or 2 packs at a time. But definitely pick them up if you see them. They are relatively inexpensive depending on how much you're looking to spend. But it's always nice to just have in your freezer because you never know. So as you can see, there is a tendon that is in the chicken tender. I like to remove them. Anytime I can, I remove it. So I like to take my fork that you see here and I just stick that tendon right in between the pegs of my fork. Now this will take a little bit of a tug because it is slippery, but if you have a paper towel, use a paper towel to help you grip it. It'll make it a lot easier. For the sake of this video, I decided not to use a paper towel so you could actually see what I was pulling out. And as you can see, that tendon comes right out. Now, is this necessary to do? No. But does it make it a lot easier to eat? Absolutely. So I just went ahead and removed all of them off camera, and now I'm just going to go ahead and give those a nice rinse and get those all cleaned up. So now it's time to get into one of my favorite parts, which is seasoning my meat. So y'all know my seasonings are fairly simple. I'm going in with a teaspoon of chicken bouillon powder, another teaspoon of paprika because y'all know I love the color that it gives. I'm going in with a teaspoon of onion powder, and then I'm also going to go in with a teaspoon of garlic powder. So once that's all done, I'm also going to go in with half a teaspoon of black pepper. So just be mindful, half a teaspoon. And then I'm going to go in with a small amount of Cajun seasoning just to give it a small amount of kick, not too much. Y'all know every video I tell y'all my husband is not a fan of too much spice. So I'm just going to give it a good mix, making sure that all of my seasonings have a chance to touch each and every piece of this chicken that's in the bowl. And once that's all nice and combined, we're going to set it off to the side, and then we're going to move on to our next mixture. Alright, so now we're going to bring another bowl into the equation, and I am adding in 2 eggs. Now here you only see 1, but like I said, I did add 2. I'm just going to go ahead and give that a good mix so we can get it nice and broken down. And y'all know I love to season all throughout, so we're going to add in about a half teaspoon of chicken bouillon powder just for that extra flavor. You got to have flavor all throughout. So I'm going to go ahead and give that a nice whisk, and then I'm going in with some milk. I used whole milk because that's what I have on hand, so I used a full cup, and I'm just going to give it a nice whisk yet again just to make sure it's nice and combined, and then we're going to set that off to the side. Now it's time for our flour. So I like to use 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Once that's inside of that Ziploc bag, I do like to go in and season my flour as well. You want that seasoning all throughout. So here I have a half teaspoon of onion powder, garlic powder, half a teaspoon of black pepper, and then I'm going in with some paprika because I love for that color to come throughout that chicken. And then I'm going in with another a 4th teaspoon of chicken powder, and then I'm going in with a full teaspoon of baking powder. The baking powder definitely helps add a little bit more of a crunch factor to the chicken, so it makes it a little bit crispier than it would if you did not use it. So we're just going to bring all of our mixtures and our chicken right into the picture so you can see it side by side, and then I'm going to show you how I like to dredge my chicken. So first things first, you want to make sure that your bag is open, nice and neat so that it's easy for you to dredge your chicken. And as you can see here, I have a pan lined with some aluminum foil just so that we can lie our chicken on there once we get it nice and coated. So I like to do chicken, egg mixture, flour. Now I'm going to show you what I do in just a second to make it nice and crispy. Once again, chicken, egg mixture, flour. Once my chicken has been added to the flour, I like to take my time and get it nice and mixed in that seasoned flour. So I'm just going to take it, give it a nice shake, and then we're going to bring it right back into the picture, and you're going to see what I like to do to make it nice and crispy. All right, if you guessed it, I'm sure some of you probably have, but we're going to do a double breading for this chicken. So I took it directly from the flour and put it right back into the egg mixture, and then we're going to put it right back into the flour. So if you can't remember what I did, here's what I did. Chicken, egg, flour, egg, flour. That's it. That's all. That double breading is something that I love to do to give it, like I said, that extra crispy, extra crunchy factor. And then I also love the fact that it does not make my flour, my breading, fall off of my chicken tenders. I don't know if you've ever seen that before, where you felt like you did not have enough breading or your breading was just falling off, it wasn't sticking. But yeah, double bread it and you won't have that issue. Once it's all done, I do like to go in and just clean up my mess. Clean as you go. It makes everything a lot easier at the end of your cooking process. So now that our chicken is done, we're going to move on to our frying pan. So for my frying pan, I like to use one that's big enough so that our chicken tenders can cook nice and evenly without feeling like I'm overcrowding the pan. And I am using vegetable oil. You want to make sure you're adding in enough oil to your pan to deep fry it. And as you can see here, I tested my oil with some flour. It did dissolve immediately, and that told me that my oil was nice and hot. So I am comfortable sticking my chicken into this hot grease, but I do recommend use tongs if you have them. Use a fork if you have to. Do not do it this way if you do not feel comfortable. Please use something to help you add it to that hot grease. It is very hot, and the last thing I want is for anything to happen to any one of you because you saw me do it. So like I said, use those tongs. But after about 15 to 20 minutes, this is what our chicken is looking like. Didn't I tell y'all it was going to be nice and crispy? Look at that chicken. Nice and golden brown, nice and beautiful. So I'm just going to remove them and place them on a drying rack. And then we are going to get it nice and plated. And what I love about this is that because they are so simple, I decided to go in with some barbecue sauce for some of them. Look at that. Beautiful. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.